This is the L2C Media Network, and live from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk at the Tom O'Neill Studios in Jackson, this is Sports Final, where the unpredictable is only just the beginning. We are presented, as always, by the L2C Media Network. And now, he wishes he had a football game named after him. But what the hell? We love him humbled. Steve, the Baxman Baxley. By the way, this here is Harry von Stuttgart, your announcer. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get going. Here's Steve. All right, thank you very much. Let's get off the thing. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to another adventure in bizarreness, known only as the infamous Sports Final, before we turn it to Sporty Balls. That's right, folks. And we will have everything under the sun to talk about for you. So, if we're all ready, we got the bell. Good. All right, let's kick it off with a little thing we like to call the scoreboard. And here we go, El Scorboardo. Can we? Come on, thank you. All right. Teleprompter needs to be boosted. Yes. Okay. Who cares about Trump? Who cares about the former pres? Ugh. Isn't there any comedies? Excuse me, maybe there is. Good. Boop. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get through it. Let's go to the scoreboard. It is proudly presented by the fun folks over at Caesars Sportsbook. Remember, we are all Caesars, and you think the Rams got the better of the deal with the Detroit Lions? They gave the Lions Jared Goff, and we gave them Matthew Stafford. And look at what's happening. The Rams got the better of the deal, but Jared Goff is doing better. Not as good as the unchained Matthew Stafford, and boy, was he unchained. Kyler Murray was walking a highlight reel as, well, let's try that again. Kyler Murray was a walking highlight reel as per usual on Monday night, but his Cardinals lost their stranglehold on the NFC's number one seed in a home rematch with the Los Angeles Rams. The newly revived Matthew Stafford made his own case to remain in the 2021 MVP conversation thanks to a nearly flawless 3-touchdown performance. Aaron Donald feasted up front to the tune of 3 sacks, helping lift Sean McVay's squad to a 30-23 victory that puts them right back in the mix for an NFC West title. Now, why did the Rams win, you may ask? Simple. Matthew Stafford. The high-flying offense did its thing basically from start to finish. After an opening series punt, Stafford started dealing with some of the most confident, comfortable throwing he showcased all year and all time, period. A shifty Sony Mitchell helped take pressure off his arm, but that did plenty of work on Arizona's secondary, hitting Cooper Kupp Van Jefferson and Odell Beckham Jr. for big scores and timely precision passes. Cup stayed open throughout the evening to bolster his case for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensively, Donald was a wrecking ball. No playing any songs by Miley Cyrus, please. In the trenches, even when he didn't get to Murray, and the secondary kept enough plays in front of them without Jalen Ramsey, who was missing due to COVID. This was a team win like no one's ever seen. What happened to the Cardinals? Well, the defense was hard to come by for Arizona, which led the Rams in turn in one of their most efficient outings of the year. But the biggest issue, honestly, might have been the lack of execution from an offensive lineup and staff that's proven to be one of the NFL's most talented. Murray made plenty of splash plays, rocketing some pretty deep balls and exploding for chunk runs while threatening to send the game to overtime, but he was also erratic through the air, forcing throws on two bad picks and taking a pair of ill-advised sacks on the final two series. Cliff Kingsbury had an equally large target and hand in the late game slip-ups, failing to keep Arizona up to speed in crunch time. Aside from Murray, their running game was also a no-show. In the play of the game, almost every other throw or scramble from Murray was fun to watch, but Stafford deserves some mighty big props for the beautiful rainbow bomb he delivered into the waiting and moving arms of Jefferson on the long touchdown. See, this is what happens when you unchain your quarterback. And I wish the Lions would have done that during Matthew Stafford's stay here with the Detroit Lions. Final score, final score, Rams 30, Arizona 23. The Rams are back in the conversation for a division title, and they will be home to host the Seahawks. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, who are now fighting multiple teams for the top spot in the NFC, are going to visit the Lions. Boy, that game's going to be fun. Anyway, once again, 30-23 Rams over Le Cardinals. Okay, time now to go to our basketball segment. That's right. We got your pro, your college, and your G League. So let's get to the NBA scores. We've already done the sponsor bit. And I know we're going to just say this very quickly. Rekieta Law Channel, Nick Rekieta's got a good show tonight for Law Splaining the Interwebs. He's on right now. In fact, he's on midnight Eastern, 11 p.m. on the Central Time Zones, and the rest figure out your own zones, kids. But Nick's great at what he does. He's a little eccentric, but he gets the point across, and he has fun doing it. That's Nick Rekieta's Law Splaining the Interwebs right here. Actually, right on the Rekieta Law Channel, right here on YouTube. And with that, let's go to the lone game that is still rocking and rolling. In the third period, 3:19 remaining, the LA Clippers lead the Suns 72-62. Now for some final scores. The Golden State Warriors outpaced the Indiana Pacers 102-100. The Cleveland Cavaliers doused the Miami Heat 105-94. The Toronto Raptors gnarled at the Sacramento Kings 124-101. The Rockets' red glare of Houston decided to take a blitzkrieg on the Atlanta Hawks 132-126. The Boston Celtics defeated the NBA defending champion Milwaukee Bucks 117-103. Memphis Grizzlies over the Philadelphia 76ers 126-91. Dallas Mavericks over the Charlotte Hornets 120-96. And the Denver Nuggets over the Washington Wizards 113-107, or 107 if you prefer. All right, kids, and the streets don't have any names, but we do. It's called NC2A Women's B-Ball. Where do we Where do we go? Oh, I know where we have to go. I know where we gotta go. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. We go the one way and then we hit the other way. It's a odd way we do these things, you know. It's a odd way we do them. But where are they? Yes, where are they? Where do we see are these kindly donks here? Have we? Are we? Do we? Anybody? Have we? Hang on, folks. We seem to have lost the button here. Where is the button? Oh, we usually use it for. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me see. Do we have everything? Okay, let's do it this way. Thank you. It's nice to know we have everything here. All right, time now for some women's college hoops. Little hoopy doopies. We got everything here, you know. There it is. There we go. All right. Let's get it to ya. Ba boo ba 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 boo ba boo ba boo 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 boo. Okay, in the women's basketball, NC2A. We have to hit the 14th. Thank you. Thank you for that. You've got to be kidding me. We have nothing at all for the women. You have got to be crazy. What is this? Yep. Oh, no wonder. Okay. It's Tuesday, so we go Monday. Okay, now we're good. Are we? Yeah. Okay, well, I've decided not to trust. So, let's skip with it here. 13th. It's a Monday, so yeah, we got it right. We're idiots. We got it right. Today is Tuesday, or was Tuesday. Oh, today is Tuesday. Thank you. I keep telling you folks. There we go. Now let's give you the Tuesday scoreboard. No, let's give you the Monday scoreboard. One of these things I'm going to do right. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Thank you, boys. You saved my butt. Okay, for the ladies, here we go. Women's college basketball. Georgia Southern over Carver College by a score of 133-15. Oh boy, that was a blowout of magnificent proportion. Wake Forest over East Tennessee State, 90-58. North Texas over Southern, 65-49. Alabama over Sam Houston, 84-50. Columbia over Long Island University, LIU, 65-55. Southern Carolina Upstate over Jacksonville, 70-53. Boston College over New Hampshire, 60-47. Alcorn State over Tougaloo, 77-48. Georgetown over Coppin State, 59-53. Southern Miss over Blue Mountain College, 75-50. Tarleton over Oral Roberts, 59-55. I have sinned against you, my Lord. UC Davis over Stanislaus State, 84-55. UTEP over Texas State, 69. There you go. Be better over here. 69-57 over Texas State. UTSA over Dartmouth, otherwise known as the University of Texas San Antonio, over Dartmouth by a score of 49-39. Northern Arizona over Cal Poly, 88-73. In Oregon, walloping McNeese. Not as bad as that other team. 109-38. Meanwhile, the canceled and or postponed games are Bluefield State Liberty, Jarvis Christian, Prairie View A&M, and Northern Colorado and Panhandle State. And that is the ladies basketball from NC2A. That's right. So now we go from one pair of scores to another pair of scores as we tap dance with the men's scoreboard. That's right. Final in overtime. Number one ranked Purdue, 82-72 over North Carolina State. Number two, Baylor over number 6, Villanova. Oops, excuse me. Wrong day, boys. Punch up the 13th. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we got it right. See, this is what I love about our show. Comedy chaos. Northern Illinois over Chicago State, 70-59. Princeton over UMBC, 89-77. Appalachian State, 69. Erskine, Vodafone. Stetson, 104. Johnson University of Florida, about 58. In fact, that's what the score was, 104-58. Nichols, 87. Blue Mountain College, 69. Thank you. Long Island University, LIE, over the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. That's where your Bushmen go. The Merchant Marines. Yes, sir. Final score was 106-48. George Washington over Radford, 67-58. New Hampshire over Keene State, the state that smiles. 92-54. Liberty defeated Carver College, all nuts, 95-36. Jacksonville State over Lagrange College, 110-80. Oklahoma State over Cleveland State in overtime, 98-93. There you go. Rhode Island, 82-58 winner over Milwaukee. Sacred Heart over Columbia, 79-69. Thank you. Albany over Boston College, 61-57. North Dakota State over Indiana State, 77-70. Watch the buzzer and watch the bell, too. Montana over SAGU. American Indian College, 118-49. Figure your own joke for that. I'm not even touching it. Portland over Cal Poly, 78-77. And there is your long delayed, but we finally got through it, college basketball for both men and women. So you know what that means? That's right. It's time for the G League. That's right. Let's get you some scores from the G League. That's right. We're going to go for some G League scores. It was the 13th. So if we look up the 13th, I think we know. Ooh, almost did it. There we go. Okay, here are the scores from Monday, December 13th. The Birmingham Squadron defeat the Memphis Hustle. Do the Memphis Hustle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do the Memphis Hustle. 119-97. Iowa Wolves over the Wisconsin Herd, 113-102. Texas Legends barely squeaked out a win over the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, 129-122. Salt Lake City Stars over the G League Ignite, 95-92. And that is your scores from Monday. Tuesday got some great games for you. So that's going to be fun. Okay, we are done with the G League. Let us bounce back and get you to the exciting world of the NHL, from the hardwood to the hard synthetic ice. That's right, we kick you with the NHL, and, well, it's going to be a short visit. Flames and Blackhawks were postponed. That was the only game. Wow. All right, let's do a tour with the Hockey scores. Yeah, that's right. Let's go to the men's division, see if there's any hockey played tonight, which means yesterday, Monday. Yes, and there's no game scheduled for Monday. Let's check a look at the women's hockey, see what they had to do tonight, if anything. Come on, boys. Let's ring that wizard. And no game scheduled for the women college, so college hockey, we're off, which means we have to go to where the buffalo roam. Deer and the antelope play, that's right. And speaking of play, we forgot. When we do hockey, we must with the national anthem. There you go. That's hockey, folks. And we did that because one thing, that's our theme and our favorite theme music that we do on the kazoo, besides On the Wings of Love and other fun little ditties. But we had to stall for a little while because the AHL had the night off. So that means the Ontario Hockey League has got to be the league of choice. And let's now see if we got a church league here. Let's see here. Nope, we didn't have any games for the 13th. There are no games on the 14th. So there you go. Happy landings on a chocolate star. So guess what? There's actually no games in the National Hockey League. So we just bored you about a third to death here. Okay. What games? Oh, Wednesday there'll be some games. There was 3 games on Wednesday, and we'll make sure to let you know. That's right. So today and tomorrow, no games for the Ontario Hockey League. Boy, that really sucks. Anyway, you want to do this here thing? Yes, sir. Okay, it is time now for the top 25 college basketball rankings. Yay! The rankings. Let's give you the rankings of the top 25. And we start first with the one outsider. Loyola Chicago is on the outside looking in. They're in 26th. 25th is Wisconsin. 24th, Colorado State. 23rd, Xavier. 22nd, Texas Longhorns. Or for those of you of dirty minds, Texas Longhornies. Connecticut, 21st. 20th, LSU. 19th, Seton Hall. 18th, Ohio State. 17th, North Kakalaki. 16th, Tennessee. 15th, University of Houston. 14th, Texas Tech. 13th, Iowa State. 12th, USC. 11th is Auburn. 10th, Villanova. 9th, Michigan State. There you go. 8th goes to Kansas. I don't know their music. 7th goes to Alabama. 6th goes to Arizona. 5th goes to Unga Zaga, Unga, Unga, Unga Zaga, Unga, Unga. I can't stop this feeling. Sorry. 4th goes to Purdue. 3rd goes to what happens when the smog lifts in California? UCLA. That's right. 2nd goes to Duke, and number 1, numero uno, Baylor. That's right. That's the man. That's the man. And boy, do we milk that one for what it's worth. Do the ladies have the do we have the top 25 ladies women's basketball? Let's see. Do we can we find out if we happen to have the top 25 yeah, top 25 women's college basketball? We should. We do. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's rock this puppy. Number 25, North Carolina. 24, Ohio State. 23, Texas A&M. 22, LSU. 21, Notre Dame. 20th, BYU. 19th, Kentucky. 18th, Georgia Tech. 17th, Georgia. 16th, South Florida. 15th, Duke. 14th, Iowa. 13th, Michigan. No, I can't do that because that's Michigan State fight song that I did. I did not know the Michigan fight song for kazoo. I gotta practice that. No, it's not. Da, 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 da. No, that's not it. Oh, now I know it. There you go. Okay, Michigan 13th, Iowa State is 12th, Texas is 11th, Indiana, back home again in Indiana, is 10th, Maryland, my Maryland, is 9th, Tennessee and Connecticut tied for 7th. It is scary. It is scary like, nah, can't even do that, because he ain't scary no more. 6th place, Louisville. 5th place, Baylor. 4th place, Arizona. Thank you. Stanford. Anyway, yep, that was, I know, that was the theme to Stanford and Son. Oh, God. I'm glad we're changing the name of the show on Christmas week. Second is North Kakalaki, and numero uno is South Kakalaki. The only one that obviously didn't make any sudden movement is, of course, Michigan. They're unranked, but they're pretty damn good. Okay. Boy, oh boy. We keep this puppy going. Let's get on with some headlines. And the headlines, they are like this. When the Boston Celtics signed Dennis Schroeder this offseason, was generally expected to be a one-year partnership. The Celtics will get a veteran point guard to bridge the gap for a year, while Schroeder would have a chance to rebuild his value after missing out on a blue. We make it worth it. And looking more like a play-in team than a potential. Schroeder may not even last the entire season in Beantown. The Celtics are expected to be open to trade talks involving Schroeder once he's eligible to be dealt on December 15th, according to Sham Shariana from The Athletic. Now, it's important to note that there is nothing imminent here, and the Celtics themselves are not looking to trade Schroeder. Rather, they'd be willing to discuss the possibility if their team made them an offer and gave the situation for both parties, and given the situation before both parties, that makes sense. We had to do that. The Celtics were hoping to put last season behind them and get back into the mix on Route 66 as a top 3 to 5 team in the East in that world. Schroeder would have been a perfect sixth man off the bench who could run the offense, provide some additional scoring around Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Even if he left after the season, it would have been worth it to remain competitive and maintain cap space moving forward. And who knows, the Celtics are still only 4 games out of third place in the East. Maybe once they get healthy, they go on a run and get back into the race for home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. If so, it's unlikely they would trade Schroeder. But you never know. But if things continue as they are, and it's clear the Celtics aren't going to make any noise this season, the kazoo makes noise because the kazoo is the musical instrument of love. It would make sense to look at trading Schroeder. Again, this report is rather vague, or vague, if you prefer. And it's not clear what the Celtics could even get for him. I personally wouldn't mind getting a bucket of chicken and some fries. But given the contract Schroeder is going to be looking for, it's extremely unlikely he'll be back. So in that scenario, it would make sense to try and get some sort of a return before he left for nothing. We'll just have to see what happens. All right, let's get some more NBA photo baluba. And more. Yes, friends, there is more. As trade talks and rumors continue to pound. The Sacramento Kings are reportedly looking for a trade partner that would be interested in getting Marvin Bagley III and Buddy Hield in a package deal, per Jason Anderson of the Sacramento Bee. The hope for the Kings is that a Hield-Bagley package would net them a good player in return, helping add to their core of De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, and Richaun Holmes. Now, Bagley has been mentioned as a trade candidate for a couple of years, as his time with Sacramento has been as disappointing as, well, use your own Kardashian joke. Since being selected number 2 overall in the 2018 NBA draft, Bagley struggled to stay healthy and has butted heads with former coach Luke Walton, as well as the front office, over their direction to not trade him this past summer. However, when he's fully healthy and engaged on offense, he's shown glimpses of what many expected to be as the number 2 overall pick. In his first 3 years in the league, he consistently averaged 14 points per game while grabbing 7 rebounds a night. But entering this season, the Kings informed Bagley that he wouldn't be in the rotation as his playing time has dropped from 25 minutes a night in the first 3 years to 19 minutes this season. But after registering several do-not-play CDs at the start of the season, his minutes have increased. And in a loss to the Charlotte Hornets on December the 10th, he put up 15 points, 10 rebounds, and over 27 minutes of action. It's clear he could still be useful as a role player. He just needs a different environment. Trade him to the damn Pistons. However, Hield is the more tantalizing player in this trade package for the Kings, as his three-point shooting can help several contending teams across the league. This past offseason, there was a framework that would have sent Hield to the Lakers, but LA ultimately decided to use their assets to bring in Russell Westbrook, which has not been fruitful. Although Hield's having a down year in terms of efficiency, his shooting would be useful on teams who are struggling in that area, like the Lakers. There aren't any reported teams that would be interested in this trade, but there surely will be several suitors waiting to bring in the talent of Hield. I would take a flyer on Bagley, who has some untapped potential. Speaking of which, another NBA? Let's give it to you, kiddies. The Los Angeles Lakers have already reshaped their roster several times since signing King LeBron James in 2018. Now it appears as if they're preparing for their first major in-season move of the James era. While the trade deadline is 2 months away, still, trade talks are beginning to heat up league-wide as the majority of free agents signed this offseason will become eligible for trades on Wednesday, December 15th. Sham Shariana, again of The Athletic, has said the two names that the Lakers are interested in are Philadelphia 76ers guard Ben Simmons and Detroit Pistons forward Jeremy Grant. Both come with significant complications. In Simmons' case, the issue is money. He will make more than $33 million this season, and tax-paying teams like the Lakers can absorb no more than 125% of the salary they send out in a deal, plus $100K. That's $100,000. Doing so with one of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, or Russell Westbrook would be doable, but for now, a deal involving any of those three appears unlikely. The problem is the Lakers have virtually no matching salary to include outside of that trio. To reach the threshold necessary to acquire Simmons without breaking up their top three, the Lakers would have to send out Talen Horton-Tucker, who makes $9.5 million, Kendrick Nunn, $5 million, and a staggering 8 players who make the veterans minimum, which counts for $1,669,178 against the cap. Obviously, giving away 2/3 of the roster in season is not feasible for a multitude of reasons, some of which we can't even get to you in the moments we have here. Now, Grant is far more attainable financially. The Lakers could match on his $20 million salary by offering Horton-Tucker Nunn, Nunn, and a single minimum salary player. Now, the concern with Grant is that he is expected to miss up to 6 weeks with torn ligaments in his thumb. Trading for him would be a significant risk given the win-now nature of this season for the Lakers. Still, considering the finances involved and Grant's relatively clean fit as a stretch on a roster devoid of forwards, he would be the far likelier acquisition of the two players Shariana listed. Good luck, Lakers. You truly need it. Okay, we keep going. Yes. USC quarterback Leadon Slovis has entered the transfer portal. After starting 3 years with the program, according to 247 Sports' Chris Hunter, Slovis leaves the Trojans with up to 2 years of eligibility remaining and immediately becomes one of the top names in the transfer portal. Slovis took the nation by storm in his sensational freshman season in 2019, completing 72% of his passes for 3,502 yards and 30 touchdowns to lead the Trojans to an 8-5 record, including a 7-2 mark in conference. Obviously, we're talking football here. He led USC to the Pac-12 championship game 1 year later and thrived under Air Raid offensive coordinator Graham Harrell. Injuries impeded his progress in 21, however, and he struggled to improve on his freshman year numbers. The Scottsdale, Arizona native finishes his career in LA with 7,576 yards, 58 touchdowns. Those marks rank number 7 and tied for 5th, respectively, on the all-time USC passing charts. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's see what Oklahoma has to offer. Flower Mound, Texas High, top 247, 2022 quarterback Nick Evers tells 24/7 Sports he has committed to Oklahoma. Evers took an official visit to Norman over the weekend. The 4-star passer is the first pledge of the Brent Venables era. He is commit number 13 overall. Evers talked with 24/7 Sports on Sunday night about his visit to Norman, which included his relationship with offensive coordinator Jeff Lebby. Let's see what else here. Over the last 2 seasons, Evers completed over 60% of his passes for 4,944 yards and 40 touchdowns, just 15 interceptions. He adds another 915 rushing yards and 15 scores. Ooh, wah, diddy, do. My chair is doing things funny. Well, COVID-19 is roared its ugly head in Chicago. Thus, the first time 2 games were postponed this season due to the ongoing pandemic. What 2? Tomorrow night's game against the Pistons and Thursday's game against Toronto. So there you go. And that one was on the road. So for safety reasons, both games are marked off. So there you go. All right. We got headlines. We did our headlines. We did our headline best. Yes, indeed. We did do our headline best. So, shall we end our deadlines? Yes, we do. So let's do that, please. Let us now go to our full announcing news. And the Athletic is one focus. And let us. Okay. My cat is meowing. She is almost at the end of her heat cycle. Okay, for those of you who have YouTube TV, bowl season might be a bit more difficult for you to enjoy this December. Per an announcement, YouTube TV and Disney are locked in a carriage dispute. What else is new? With YouTube TV threatening to pull in all Disney-owned networks, including ESPN, off YouTube TV by this Friday if a new carriage agreement cannot be reached. Here are the impacted networks per the streamable. Local ABC channels, ABC News Live, Disney Channel, Disney Junior, Disney XD, Freeform, FX, FXX, FXM, National Geographic Wild, ESPN2, ESPN2, ESPN3 by authentication to the ESPN app, ESPNU, ESPN News, the SEC Network. Disney has a website up with some vague details on the dispute, and ad blitz began appearing on networks Monday, including during Monday Night Countdown. Ooh, icky ick. TV also published a blog about the dispute, a blog post saying they'd cut their monthly fee by $15 to $49.99 per month if they drop the Disney, and the price cut would remain in effect for as long as the networks were not available. Well, ain't that nice? YouTube TV famously threatened to drop the then Fox Sports, now Bally Sports, RSNs in February, reaching a temporary agreement a week later, lasted through the end of the 2020 Major League Baseball season. They're still not back on. In September, a carriage dispute between NBC and YouTube TV reared its ugly head, but a new deal came together. The last significant carriage dispute involving ESPN was 2 years ago when AT&T and Disney were heading towards the end of their deal, and ESPN pelted DirecTV customers with ads during Monday Night Football. A deal eventually got done, and the networks weren't pulled from the airwaves. The timing seems significant with much of the NBA and NHL season still remaining, along with the full slate of bowl games, including the college football playoff. There are also a handful of Monday Night Football games left, several which will be simulcast on ABC and thus watchable on an antenna. Will YouTube TV follow through and channels from its lineup? Let's wait and see. That's going to be fun, isn't it? That's right. Let's see. Chris Collinsworth praised Aaron Rodgers, who misled people about his vaccine status, for his honesty. And the Athletic, you know them. We praise them. But the Athletic has spun a roulette wheel during the past year, hoping to find a potential buyer for the subscription-based sports media platform. The latest spin has reportedly stopped again at the New York Times. According to Front Office Sports' A.J. Perez and Michael McCarthy, The Athletic and New York Times have revisited discussions that fell through in June. At the time, the primary obstacles were the asking price, reportedly to be as high as $800 million, and how employees who have equity in the company would be compensated in such a sale. The Athletic's most recent valuation was at $500 million after raising $50 million in investor funding 2 years ago. At awful announcing has learned that co-founder Alex Mather recently told employees at The Athletic added over 80,000 subscribers during its Black Friday promotional drive. That influx of subscribers, especially if a majority of them are new, along with the company attempting to pare down expenses, might have closed the gap between The Athletic's perceived value and what the Times is willing to pay. Earlier this year, The Athletic talked to Axios about a potential merger before those talks fell belly up just over a month later. Since the original negotiations with the Times stalled, The Athletic has increased annual subscription rates and enlisted investment-backed LionTree to help find a buyer, and unsuccessfully courted sports betting companies FanDuel and DraftKings. Yazzie yazzie. Now, following the COVID-19 shutdown of sports that co-founder Adam Hansman claims nearly put the company out of business, The Athletic began scaling back what had become an overambitious operation, cutting coverage in certain regions where subscriptions weren't high and deciding not to keep some writers and editors to reduce costs and move closer to profitability. As could be expected, Perez and McCarthy report those cutbacks have caused tension among employees whose contracts are about to expire. Agreements that were originally 2 years are now as short as 90 days. Many staffers are being offered lower salaries amid an industry in which several outlets are reducing pay and eliminating jobs. These measures are in addition to the layoffs and temporary pay cuts that were instituted during the pandemic. Ooh. So maybe this will be the lucky time. Maybe this will be the time for the Times. We'll have to find out. And speaking of who we weren't speaking of, but what the hell, we might as well. Just in case anyone thought it was a joke, when announced in June, the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl is a reality and will be played December 18th at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. For a mid-December Saturday night game, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, at the beginning of college football bowl season, the inaugural Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl should be an entertaining matchup. Utah State, the Mountain West champs, and Oregon State might lack big brand recognition, but the teams have high-powered offenses that should provide a lot of scoring and be worth checking out. With the game approximately a week away, Kimmel appeared on Yahoo Sports College Football and podcast to promote the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. Host Dan Wetzel began by asking late-night talk show host why he wanted his name on a college football bowl game. And Kimmel said, "That's something that is a very stupid idea. I've always been interested in the titles of these bowl games. I remember the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. I think that was one of the first sponsored bowl games, and there are certain things I feel weird in front of the title of a bowl game. I felt like Tostitos was one of those things. Personally, for me, it would be the Trojan Condoms California Bowl. That's just my opinion." Well, then we got to the point where it was perfectly normal to have a snack food as the sponsor of a bowl game. So one of the guys on our show thought it would be funny if I had a game named after me, and I agreed. And then it was interesting to see people angry about it. There is no sanctity when it comes to sponsoring a college football bowl game. Kimmel later claimed that he couldn't remember who was playing in the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, but Wetzel pointed out that Utah State and Oregon State is a good matchup. So there you go. By the way, Kimmel unveiled the mascot for the bowl game, which he designed with consultant Dave Raymond. We'll find out whether or not the mascot will actually appear at SoFi Stadium on the 18th or perhaps in the days leading up to the game. But Jimmy Kimmel looks promising, unless, of course, he actually vomits. I have nothing more to say on that level. And that, friends, is our media bites for tonight. And that leaves us with just two segments left. So let's be happy with those segments, shall we? We take a page and let's get you some football scores, shall we? Some soccer scores, excuse. Spanish La Liga, Cadiz and Granada tied at 1. Italia Series A, Roma over Spiza 2-0. Portugal, Vizsla over Orosuka 4-1. League, Sochi over Spartak Moscow 3-0. Turkish action, Sivasspor Galatasaray 1-0. And Gaziantep defeated Fenerbahce 3-2. And that means we have one more segment left, and that is, of course, where we span the globe in the remaining moments of this broadcast. How much fun has this show been tonight? Oh, it's been a hoot, or a hoot if you prefer. Let's pop this, shall we? We've done Italy and Spain on the soccer. Basketball, Italy, Liga A, Fortitudo Bologna over Trieste, 96-60. In hockey, the Swedish Hockey League, Linkopings over Oskarshamn, 6-2. And Finland, Ilves over Karpat, 3-1. And guess what, kids? We're going to repeat the final score of Monday Night Football. The LA Rams 30, Arizona Cardinals 23. And you know what, folks? It didn't come at a better time because we are about finoodled. That's right. We got about 3 minutes to kill. And I don't think I'm going to kill it. I'm just going to let it sit there and germinate for a while. So it'll be good for winemaking. But that is going to do it for us here on the broadcast. Get well soon, Marielle Lou of WJBK, Fox 2, and good old Detroit, just 2.5 hours away from here. We are done. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow night at 11:35 p.m. Note that time. That's our regular time unless there's a football game that goes beyond the limit. Then we have to wait for them to go off the air as we go on. Hence the midnight show. And that's what they told me when I got this gig. You can't violate when the sport is big enough. You're going to have to just wait for the late show to go over. There you go. So we're having fun, aren't we? Yes, we are. And we're going to have more fun tomorrow night, 11:35, right here on the Lugnut 6 YouTube network. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I am Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Hopefully we tickled your funny bone or any part of your body that doesn't get offended much. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for watching. For Harry Von Stuttgart, Uno, my mom, and everybody else here at the old Fred McLeod Sports Desk and the Tom O'Neill Studios, otherwise known as our home here in Jackson, Michigan. I am your host, Steve Baxley, feeling about as good as I can ever be, saying be good to one another and remember happiness beats up the sadness. So be happy, make someone happy, live life to its fullest. We'll see you tomorrow night. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network, L2C Sports, and YouTube. And we have 30 seconds, so I'm just going to say this. Thank you. Good night, everybody.